What's going down, everybody? I want to make a video of an idea that's been kind of kicking around in my head. It's been there for a while, I think since last year, like November, December. And I actually had spoken to a fellow YouTuber, Mr. One Mechanic, just briefly about it, right? Saying we kind of had the same idea. So I kind of just want to make a video, like I said, talking about tool brands, man. Um, Again, this is unscripted, so if I kind of go off on a small tangent and stuff like that, it's because I freestyle my videos, man. I don't really script them or don't really jot down too many ideas. I just kind of have the main concept in my mind and I just kind of go with it, right? But anyways, yeah. So I know I know there's a lot of love hate out there for all brands, right? You got those huge supporters of Snap-on, and then you got those big haters like, no, you guys are just like overpaying for tools and this and that. And the same thing would go for low brand name, I guess would be the, for the lack of a better word, low brand name tools like Harbor Freight, Pittsburgh. Same thing. You got people who swear by them and oh, these are the best tools you can get for your bug, and you got those that hate them, completely despise them. So there's both sides of the spectrum. There's it goes both ways, right? Love and hate on one side, love and hate on the other side. And I just kind of want to give my stance of where I stand on those, on that, on that particular matter. Um, and my personal point of view is that I'll give a shout out to Mr. One Mechanic again because he actually said this in this video, and that's what actually inspired me to actually make the video again. Because he just said this one quote. He was talking about he had bought some wrenches, right? That were going on clearance, and he said he don't really use them, so he didn't really see the need to spend the top dollar like Snap-on or anything of that nature because he hardly ever uses those wrenches. But he made the comment where he said, "Oh man, I forgot exactly how he stated it now, man. I just had it in my head and it just slipped out of my mind." Um, but yeah, but pretty much he was just saying, that you don't actually have to spend all that money when it's not necessary. Pretty much, I had the exact quote in my head and it just slipped. I'm sorry, but if you want, I'll put a link to that video so you can see it. Where it was like his first tool haul of 2021, and he kind of said that towards the tail end of it. So I'll put it in there, and you could actually listen to what he had to say. But but yeah, man. Pretty much, like I said, my stance is that there's a place for everything, right? There's a place for all these tools. There's a place for Harbor Freight tools. There's a place for Snap-on tools. There's a place for all these other different tools, man. And I'm not really gonna call them out by brand, although I have been saying them. But I'm just saying like there's a place for lower brand tools or inexpensive tools, and there's a place for expensive tools. Now, where am I going with that? Um, Out of my personal experience, um, I've had my hands on some low brand or no name tools or Pittsburgh. I just call them by their brands, man. Like Pittsburgh tools and even higher name tools too, man. Like Cornwell. Cornwell has let me down quite a few times, to be honest with you. And I'm not hating on them, man. Some of their stuff is pretty good. I love their lights, man. Their lights are pretty phenomenal. They're relatively inexpensive, and they're great lights. And I haven't had any issue with any of their lights. Same thing. I got the Cornwell 3/8 snub nose. I call it snub nose, or the compact impact, and that works pretty phenomenal too. But like the 3/8 ratchet that I have, it gave out on me like 2-3 times already. I've had to replace it. Same thing with some other their tools. I got their set of scribes that I've been having to constantly replace, because they're always bending and just off of normal use, man. Normal use that you wouldn't think they would start bending them. They'll start bending and stuff. So, you know, um, but yeah, man. I think that there's a place for everything. Like as an example, the way I look at things is that if you're like a do-it-yourselfer, little home mechanic or home technician, or you're wanting to get into the industry, in any industry, or mechanic part of the industry, but albeit heavy duty, or just uh personal vehicles, or commercial vehicles, whatever. If you're gonna want to start getting into it, yeah, you can go ahead and get some Harbor Freights that'll get you started, get you to point A. you know. Or if you're just a plain do-it-yourselfer, you know, a hobbyist, as a mechanic hobbyist, again, you know, Harbor Freight, those tools, I mean, they'll probably do you good, man. You're not gonna be putting them under a lot of daily stress, you know. Once you start getting into the professional realm, as far as like dealership status, or even independent status, you know, doing this thing as a everyday, and you put your tools through major abuse, you might. Now, I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm not saying this is a it's mandatory or anything like that, but you might want to start thinking more of these tools as an investment, and start investing into better tools. Not all tools, but a good amount of tools you would probably have to start putting into brands like Matco, Snap-on, rather than just having Harbor Freight or Pittsburgh. Um, and I mean, as an example, like me personally, I work at a, like I've told you guys before, I work at a kenworth dealership. Um, so there we do a lot of torquing, man. A lot of torquing. We have to torque everything, especially when it comes into the inside of the engine. It's very delicate on any vehicle. It's very delicate, and you don't want to just, you know, ugdut it. You know what I'm saying? You want to go as precise as possible. So with that being said, I mean, even and before I get to the rest of it, even with that, a lot of the stuff in the heavy duty industry, or at least the Cummins and the pack cars, it's not only torque to like 250 pounds. It's 250 pounds plus like 60 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, it depends on what you're torquing. But there's a lot of those torque specs that include degrees. So with that being said, I saw it the best thing possible for me to do, since I'm already in the industry and I work at a dealership, was to actually invest in my torque wrenches, but Snap-on. And Snap-on, because I mean, they're the high quality tools. I actually, before purchasing, I asked around people who actually had them, and they've had those Snap-on torque wrenches for years, and they haven't given out. So I mean, I only saw it fit to buy it, because when it comes to actually torquing down, especially like I said with heavy machinery and stuff like that, and being dealership, it's the thing about a dealership, and this should actually be for another video, but just a quick little quote. A dealership, like what they told me, is that they expect excellence, so we have to deliver excellence. You know. So with that, I mean, I wouldn't see myself trusting a half-inch torque off of a Pittsburgh. You know, that's just me personally, right? A lot of people may swear by them, and you might say, I've done it and I've actually tested it with this and that or whatever, and I've never had an issue. Hey man, more power to you. But me personally, the risk for me is too big to run that risk. And then having imagine torquing down the head, and the torque spec isn't just right the way it's supposed to be, because I decided to use a less expensive tool, and then all of a sudden I got a bad head gasket coming back, and it's a comeback, and now I'm losing money. Yeah, because when you're a flat rate or a flag rate, whatever you want to call it, or flag tech, when you have a comeback and you got to fix it again, you're fixing it for free, especially if it's on your end. Now if it's something that has nothing to do with what you did, obviously, if you can prove it, then that's a different job. It's a different thing. But if it's a head thing, and it comes back because you didn't do your job right, or you didn't use the correct tools, or the risk is pretty big, pretty substantial. So for that matter, for that reason, brother, personally, I went with the half inch, or not just the half inch. I got 3/8 and the half inch torque wrenches. Also got them from Snap-on, because they actually come with the angles, right? You can actually flip them. I got the digital, and then the one that I got, I actually love the one that I have, man. My half inch, it goes to 300 pounds rather than 250. The new ones that came out, they go to 300 pounds. So you have inch pounds, Newton meters, foot pounds, and then you have also angles. So I think it's the tech angle, or the angle tech, or something like that. I forgot the exact name for it, but I bought those, and I bought them brand new off the truck. It's to me, the way I look at it, it's an investment, right? Um, Same thing goes like with impacts. Again, like I said, I just picked up the I didn't just pick up, but I got the 3/8 stubby impact from Cornwall, which works phenomenal. I also have, that's the other one that I got from Cornwall that I actually enjoy too, that I like. I think it's pretty good. Although I got the three quarter inch impact from Cornwall. Although I will say that I have tried the Snap-on three-quarter inch impact, and it's a lot stronger. It's a lot stronger. Torquing down heads, man, you got to get those 90-degree angles on the Cummins and stuff, and you use the impact to torque them down. And I know I say you don't want to do UGDUs, but when you gotta mark them, and then torque them down to a certain degree set. You know, you're not just hitting an impact and just kind of guessing at it or whatever. You're doing it the way it's supposed to be done, the way Cummins or Packard tells you to do it, right? But you hit them with a 3/4 impact to torque them down. My 3/4 inch impact, the Cornwell, has given me a little bit more trouble to get the precise 3/4 inch than the snap on. But I mean, that's not to say. I mean, now when you're torquing them down at that amount of torque, I mean, it's quite a bit. You're asking a lot from your impact. But I mean, there you got two. I think that would actually be a perfect example for this right here, man. Where each thing has its place, right? So you have two name brand tools, right? You got the 3/4 inch impact that's a Cornwell that can do pretty much anything, but it doesn't perform as well as a snap-on 3/4 inch impact. And I don't own the 3/4 inch snap-on impact, but I've used it. My friend had it. And I used two of them. One of my friends had a used one that he's had for years, and I got the same results. And then my other friend said, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy the snap-on, and he bought it. And then I tried that one as well. He let me borrow it, and it's phenomenal, man. Obviously, everything brand new is gonna work phenomenal, right? Until it starts wearing down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, with those two name brands right there, now obviously I went with the Cornwell because the Cornwell was a little bit less expensive, you know, and Snap-on being more expensive. I think the Cornwell was like about, actually not even a little bit. I think it was like 600 or 650 when I bought it. And the Snap-on is like about, I want to say, I don't remember 100%, so don't quote me, but it's right about a G, man. It's about 900 to a G. So I mean, it's up there in price. But when you start thinking about it, like which one's gonna last me longer? If I would have had both, if you know the strength of the Snap-on one has, you could pretty much assume that because of the strength that it actually comes with it, it's gonna last you longer, especially when you demand less of it. You see what I'm saying? Like with the Cornwell, when you demand more of it and it can't really perform as well, it might not last me that long. I don't know. Like I said, I'm speculating here, but this is the way my mind thinks. So I think overall, I think the best investment would have been to go with the Snap-on, and I probably will end up investing in the Snap-on 3/4 inch impact soon. You know, so there you go. I mean, those are a couple of examples right there. But like I said, as far as like with the lesser brand tools, there's a place for everything. And like I said, I'm not big on Snap-on. Everything in my toolbox is a Snap-on. I mean, just to kind of give you if you see my toolbox tool, you'll see what I'm talking about, right? But if like some of the Snap-on tools that I actually, not Snap-on, I'm sorry, the tools that I enjoy that are a little bit lesser brand or less expensive but still good quality tools will be like Sunex. Now, the same thing. There's a place for everything in Sunex, and I got another story that I want to talk about later on. I might do another video of it, but for now, I'm just gonna talk about the sockets. I ended up buying the 3/8 master socket set. It came in the box, pretty whatever. I don't even use the box because I put everything on the Snap-on rail to just a lot more practical to pick up and go. But about the 3/8 set, man, and that 3/8 set has been phenomenal. I've used the crap out of it. That's my daily use right there. So now I will say this: what I have been doing lately, because I do work on people's personal vehicles that they bring to me, friends, family. Like I've always said, when you're a mechanic at any level, you automatically become the family mechanic as well, right? Your cousin, uncle, brother, whatever, the cars break down, they bring them to you, right? So with that being said, I did buy Snap-on sockets. It's not like I don't own Snap-on sockets or the 3/8. I do own them. I own them, but I have them at home. And the reason why I have them at home is because since they're a name brand or higher name brand, I expect a lot more out of them. And I would rather have better tools at my house where I can't, because even one of my friends asked me, like, well, why are you taking all your Snap-on tools home? Not all of them, but, when I would upgrade and buy something, I'd be like, all right, I'm taking these home. And then an example, like the exact same socket set, because I bought them on a BOGO deal. You get the deep set, metric. You buy one, get one. So you buy the metric set, you get the standard for free, right? On the 3/8 drive. So I bought those and I bought the shallows. And I was like, I'm taking these home. And my friend was like, why are you taking them home, man? Like, you really need them here. You want to have those here? I was like, no. I go, the way I'm looking at it is I need the best quality tools that I could get and have them at home so that they could perform well. Because if I'm working at home and I'm working on somebody's vehicle and something goes wrong with one of my tools, I'm pretty much stuck and I have to stop what I'm doing and try to figure something out. If a tool, let's say like let's just say a socket, let's say one of the Sunex sockets that I have at work, if one of those were to snap or crack, I could be like, oh crap. Let me go see my next door neighbor because we all have our bays, right? And one of my neighbors is my only neighbor because I got a wall on the other side of me. But my neighbor is like a really good friend of mine, man. I would go over there and just talk to him like, hey man, you got a socket I could borrow? Yeah, here you go. Boom, get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Probably make do. Maybe take one of my tools home. Take my tools to work from home to kind of get me through the next week until Snap-on comes or whoever could warranty out the Sunix one for me, or Cornwell or Mac, and then I'm good. Versus if I'm at home and I'm working on somebody's vehicle and a socket breaks on me, who do I call? Who do I go to? You know what I'm saying? I can't call my friend and tell like, hey man, I'm gonna go all the way to work and pick up this or whatever, or you know what I'm saying? Even after hours when the shop is already closed down, like I said, you're pretty much stuck. Now you got to go out of your way, drive out to maybe AutoZone, O'Reilly's, pick up another socket. Hopefully that one doesn't snap as well, and then get you get you done right. It's a lot more hectic. So a lot of the better tools I have been trying to keep at home. But going back to the actual topic of the subject we're talking about, the Sunix tool, man. Those Sunix sockets are phenomenal. I've used them on a daily basis, and I have already cracked two of them. Different size. I think I cracked a 14 millimeter and a 15 millimeter. But again, Mac or Cornwell will warranty them. They're sometimes a little bit hesitant, but they will warranty them, and I've had them warranted. So I've had good luck with that. As well, so I have more Sunix sockets than I do anything. And the other reason for that is not just that, because I do have those 3/8, the whole set, the shallows, the deeps, metric and standard. Like I said, it was a whole set, right? The whole set. That's why I bought it, and it was great, man. From 8 to 19, and then from 5/16 to I think it was three quarter inch, 3/4 inch with the swivels and everything, man. It's a great set. And I bought it for cheap. But the thing is like at $200, and I bought it like at 140 or something like that. So it was a great deal too. But man, what was I going with that? But yeah, oh yeah. The other reason why I have mostly Sunix sockets is because I tend to buy my own tools, even though we are provided some specialty tools per se. But whenever you have like these bigger sockets, and when I'm talking about bigger sockets, like when you do hub seals and stuff like that at work, you're going into like really big sockets, man. I'm talking about like 3 and 3/4 inch sockets, the size of it. So that's like probably that big, It's a big socket. 3/4 inch drive. So I've been picking those tools up as well, and I picked those up under the Sunix brands because I've used Sunix there at work. Like that's what they have right there, right? The Sunix brand sockets, and they work phenomenal, man. I have not seen one break or give out or anything. So when I pick them up, I try to pick up Sunix brand sockets as well, a 3/4 inch drive, and like I said, they work phenomenal for me too, man. And I do that because when you work at a shop and you got 20 techs, and then all of a sudden you're looking for the 3/4 inch impact or the impact socket, or the 3 3/4 socket to torque down a hub seal or the hub itself. If somebody else is using it, you just kind of waiting around for a flag tech. That means you're losing money. So I'd rather just buy my own tools and have them in my box. So with that being said, I do have I'm not gonna say a huge amount of Sunix tools or Sunix sockets, but I have a pretty good amount, man. And again, the price for those compared to like Snap-ons are night and day. You know what I'm saying? The same thing. So with that being said, I mean Sunix is a less expensive tool for me in my particular view. It's a less expensive, but it's still a good quality tool. It's obviously not an expensive tool, and it might not be the best quality tool, but it's still up there. It's good, man. It's gonna get the job done, So that's why I use the Sunix socket. So, and that's kind of my stance on everything, man. Like I said, I know cats that are starting out, that their whole tool sets are all Pittsburgh, man. But like I said, they're fresh out of college, and they were given the opportunity to work there at our location. They're being trained and stuff. So hey, man, more power to them, I have spoken to like two of them, and I just try to give them advice. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, it's gonna get you by or whatever, but later on you're gonna want to start thinking about maybe investing in some better tools. not everything, you know, or as they break, start upgrading, you know. And someone told me like, yeah, you're right, you know, this and that. But like I said, there's certain tools you don't want to cheap out on, man. There's certain tools you don't want to cheap out on because it's gonna turn around and bite you in the butt, and that's the last thing you want is for a tool to turn around and bite you in the butt. You know, you don't want that. You know, you wanna. There's certain tools you think about it and you're like, I have to get a quality tool because if not, you know, like I said, the risk is too great. It's too great of a risk. So and yeah, man. I mean, like the pry bars I got, the snap-on pry bars. Actually, I got those at home, and I have my Cornwall pry bars at work. Those have been pretty decent. And I had bought two pry bars only just to test them out from Harbor Freight. And like I said, man, especially I guess maybe in my industry because, like I said, I'm a heavy duty technician. I work on the kenworth and peterbilts. So when you try to pry something that's really heavy, really big, you know what I'm saying? The Harbor Freight's gonna show you just how weak it is real quick, you know? And it did, man. So I had to go with a really good set. But there's some tools that just don't compare. Same thing with the wrenches. I'll get into that on another video. But yeah, but that's my 2 cents, man, on the whole thing. Hopefully it made sense. Hopefully you guys can get the drift of what I'm trying to say here. But there's a place for everything, man. So I'm not really a huge all in on Snap-on brand, whatever, you know what I'm saying, a huge lover or rider. Nah, man. I just, you know, it depends. If I think I try to put it in perspective, and if I see that I don't really need to spend that big amount of money, kind of like with again, with what mechanic said, with those big tools, the big wrenches. He was like, I don't really see it because I don't really use them all that much. Every once in a full moon, I might be able to use one, right? So yeah, I mean, definitely, man. With that, you don't really want to go out and buy those snap-on wrenches if you don't need them, you know. But if he did need them all the time, I'm pretty sure even he himself would have been like, you know, maybe not snap-on, but he would have been like, you know what, man, maybe let me buy some Mac or Cornwall tools, Cornwall wrenches or something. You know, he might have gone with something a little bit more better brand than what he bought. Plus, I mean, the price he paid for those wrenches, man, were phenomenal. Excuse me, man, I'm sorry about that. I'm here by myself. But I think he paid like, he said like $30, and they were like big wrenches, man. I forgot, from like 34 to like 40 or something like that. I forgot what it was, the sizes. You can't beat that with the stick, man. So he paid a really good price for that. But yeah, so that's pretty much my stance. I mean, and the same thing would probably come down to electrical stuff as well, man. Again, you want to just kind of weigh out your options and see what's the best tools out there. Do a little bit of research, you know, especially when it comes to electrical, you know, diagnostics and stuff like that. You kind of want to invest your money in the right place, rather than having to double spend and wasting time misdiagnosing things, you know. That's just the way I see it. But yeah, the other thing I just really popped into my mind right now is another brand that nobody, I haven't mentioned, and I was actually thinking about it because the majority of the time we always tend to think about brand wars or whatever, and we think obviously Pittsburgh, Snap-on, Mac, Cornwell, you know, the all the big brands. But Lyle Tools is another tool company that, even I think, I honestly think a lot of these other companies like Snap-on Tools, Cornwell, Mac, a lot of them kind of copy them, because I've seen a lot of the times Lyle Tools are like the first ones that come out with the tool, and then shortly after, boom, I seen them on Snap-on trucks or Cornwell trucks, and I'm like, something's fishy, right? You guys are copying Lyle Tools, but Lyle Tools is another good brand, man. Um, Same thing. You could go on any tool truck and buy Lyle Tools. You know, you might overpay a little bit, but it's still worth it, man. It's still worth it because you get the warranty from them, right? But Lyle Tools, they're a good brand. I've bought numerous amounts of tools from Lyle. Uh, Again, inexpensive, good quality tools. You know, they'll get you the job done. You know, especially when it comes to like specialty tools. Lyle Tools is pretty spot on, man. I bought a lot of specialty tools from Lyle, and up until now they haven't done me wrong, man. They've been a pretty good tool company. So yeah, so with that said, man, I'm 25 minutes into this video, a little bit longer than what I thought it was gonna be, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. um like I said, there's gonna be more content coming out. I'll probably do another video later on today. I'm not sure. We'll see what's up. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, I'm having fun with this. And again, a huge shout out to One Mechanic. You, sir, are the rock star of today, man. Shout out to Power Stroke Jude, a really good friend of mine, fellow YouTuber, and a good friend of mine on IG. Um, to everybody in Text Talking Shop, man, you guys are a phenomenal group of guys, man, and gals, phenomenal group of guys and gals, man. Y'all keep doing y'all's thing. I wish I could be a little bit more involved in what I actually am, but I mean, I told you guys already, man. You guys already know I got my baby here, so I gotta spend a lot of time with my wife, you know, helping her with the baby and with my baby. So, yeah, man, you guys stay safe, man. Stay focused on whatever goals you have planned, and I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. God bless everybody.